Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Chat with Cherrelle. In today's podcast, I'm going to talk about love and relationships. It is February, so I felt like it was just needed. But I'm going to throw out some questions, and I want you guys to think about either some of your past relationships or one that you're trying to get into. But first, I want to just say you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. So make sure that you're showing yourself love in some kind of way. And if you're in a relationship or not, you should still make time for yourself. Make sure you're making yourself happy, because if you're in a relationship or trying to get into a relationship, you're going to be no good to that other person if you don't even love yourself. So before we get into loving someone, let's talk about just dating and the relationship. My question is, do anybody still go on dates anymore? Like actually dinner and the movies, or even if it's something fun, like do guys take females out on dates anymore, or vice versa, whatever makes you happy. But I rarely see people actually going out on dates with each other, or even asking, hey, do you want to go on a date? It's just like, hey, you want to come over and chill? No. So yeah, I feel like it should start with dating. And I guess my question now to everyone, how long have you dated someone before you guys actually became a couple? For me, I'm not even gonna lie. The longest I've dated someone before we became a couple is probably about 6 months. That's a long time, actually. So how long have you dated someone before you guys became a couple? So, along with dating, have you ever had sex with someone on the first date? Crickets. Yeah, so I'm not going to answer that. But what difference does that make to you? Do you feel like you should or you shouldn't? Do you feel like you should wait until you're in a relationship with that person? If you did have sex on the first date, how was it different from someone previously that you tried to wait until you were in a relationship? Now, the stereotype is if a female have sex on the first date, she's a hoe. But if a male have sex on the first date, then he's just being a male. So with that being said, would you stop dating someone because they aren't good in bed? Now, if you answer yes, did you have sex on the first date or no? Now, everyone reaches a point in their life where they feel like they don't have time to waste on a BS relationship. So, if, just say for instance, my situation, if I dated someone for 6 months and did not have sex with them, and then when we became a couple, we had sex and it was trash, I just wasted 6 months of my life. Now, y'all might think that I'm mean or whatever, but it's the truth. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that thinks this way. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to move along and talk about relationships. So, with everyone looking to be in a relationship, you should have some kind of standard for your relationship. Either it could be the standard for the relationship or the standard for the person, or both. But I know sometimes you may sacrifice a standard for the person to make the relationship better. And what I mean by that is you may see potential in someone even though it's not all there yet. But another disclaimer, don't seek that potential for too long, because if that person don't ever change, or you don't see that person trying to change after time, that potential probably was never there. You just had hoped that it was there and that person would change. And then another thing for relationships, I know I have spoke on this in the past, but make sure you're bringing something to the table in that relationship. Don't expect the other person to just have it all. Make sure you're bringing something into that relationship that you both can build from. One thing that I want to say, and people may not agree with this, but I feel like a relationship should not be treated as a marriage. For example, you should not be doing everything in a relationship that you would do in a marriage, because now what do you have to look forward to for the rest of your life in the marriage? I'm going to give you bits and pieces of the type of woman that I am, and then you will get the full Cherrelle in the marriage. I'm not saying that I'm going to hold out or I'm going to change once we're married, but I'm not going to show you wifey responsibilities when the title is not there. Because with every good relationship, the marriage is only going to get better. Now, if you was already rocky in the relationship, what do you expect the marriage to be like? Now, since we're talking about marriage, let's talk about love. So, love is a powerful word, okay? Love can get you killed. Let's just say that. That's how powerful it is. So, when you use the words, I love you, make sure you mean it. And I know when you're in a relationship, yes, you may love that person at that time or, while you're in the relationship. And in some situations, I know people fall out of love with someone because of whatever reason. But love will get you killed, okay? Let me just say that, because it's so powerful. When someone tells you that they love you and you don't feel the same, just redirect the conversation or make a joke or something. Because I know from a female perspective, if I tell someone I love them and they say it back, I'm gonna believe you. Okay, but don't mess around with that word love, because it will get you killed. Now listen, I'm not saying I'm gonna kill somebody, but I know sometimes people will take that word and run with it, play around with it, and it shouldn't be. Because if you're actually feeling someone or you care about someone and you actually do love that person, be genuine about it, because it can hurt someone if you say it and you don't really mean it. And that goes both ways, males and females, because some males can be just as emotional as females when it comes down to a relationship. Now, I do believe that love is grown over time. I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe that you have to learn that person, see their personality, see how they move, because someone can tell you that they love you and just be speaking just because. But if their actions is not correlating with their words, then why believe them? Why even waste your time in that relationship? Because you can tell me everything that you feel I want to hear, but until I see those actions, then hey, I'm going to take it and keep it moving. But seriously, don't take people for granted when it comes down to love. Don't try to get over on someone by just saying what they want to hear, because it's going to come back on you in some way. It's going to come back on you. When you think you're in love, that female or that male is going to dog you out. So don't be that person where karma just hits you right in the face. Like, seriously, because at some point in your life, you want to stop playing games. Or you should anyway. So the older you get, the more mature you become, and the more you realize that shit, hey, my time is fucking winding down. So you want to be with someone that really wants to be with you. So don't take people for granted. Don't try to get over on people. Just treat people the way that you want to be treated. And to wrap up the podcast, I just want to say one last thing. I just want everyone to know their worth. Whether you're a male or a female, know what you're worthy of, because it will cut out a lot of the BS relationships or the BS dating. If you know how you want people to approach you or come to you for dating or relationship, just have that standard. If you know you don't want to be with a thug because that's not what you want, don't entertain thugs. Whatever a thug look like to you, don't entertain it. If you know you don't want to be with a sadiddy guy or gal, don't entertain it because you're not doing anything but wasting your time. So know your worth, know what you want, and build from that. But remember, always work on yourself first. Thanks, guys.